In this module, I'm going to give you an overview of data mining. So what is data mining? Well, data mining consists of a set of principles, concepts, and techniques that structure the way we think and analyze the data. And data mining helps us to extract potentially useful, non-trivial, and previously unknown information and knowledge from a large volume of data by following a well-established process with reasonably well-defined steps. So, the key merit of conducting data mining is it indeed helps us to change the way we think about the data and its impact and its value, its role in businesses. So when we say data mining, people often refer to either predictive data mining methods or descriptive data mining methods. So what I mean by predictive data mining methods is the tools that help us to predict unknown or future values of interest by using some input variables. So for example, we build a prediction model of tomorrow's weather on the basis of today's and yesterday's historical weather conditions. In doing so, we can certainly utilize various classification or regression methods. Conversely, descriptive methods, they don't necessarily help us predict unknown or future variables. Conversely, descriptive methods, they don't necessarily help us predict the unknown or future values of the target outcome. Whereas, it helps us to find human interpretable patterns that describe the data. Literally, that help us to understand the data at hand and explore its unique pattern. In doing so, people often employ methods such as k-means clustering or association rule to discover otherwise unknown hidden patterns existing in your data. So why do people mine data? Why is the prime time to conduct data mining? Well, the answer is quite simple. Because of the data opportunity. In terms of its volume, variety, and other support conditions such as powerful computers and more efficient algorithms, now we can deal with and manage not only structured data such as numeric information, but also unstructured data such as text or images or videos, audios. So these unstructured data typically account for more than 80% of the entire data existing in the world. Now, thanks to various tools that allow us to extract features or information from such unstructured data, there is abundance of data that are waiting for us to extract and to analyze. So in other words, we live in the golden era of data and data mining. So what is the well-established set of steps by which we can conduct data mining? So there are 6 steps. At the core, there are 2 initial steps which are sort of go back and forth. First off, you have to have a clear business understanding. So you have to know whether you are facing a problem or you're exploring a new opportunity. Either way, we can interpret that as business understanding. On that basis, you can shift to the next stage, which is data understanding. So, given your solid understanding of business context, now you obtain the data and explore the data in order to understand not only its strength, but also its limitation. You can certainly visualize some of the variables and look at their relationships. That's all part of data understanding. And business and data understanding, they go back and forth. If you realize some of your current data set lacks certain aspects, then it will certainly force you to go back to business understanding step, where you may need to sort of refine your business problem or business opportunity. Likewise, given a solid business understanding, you may want to collect currently unavailable variables because they are essential to the focal business problem. So once you establish a solid and thorough understanding of not only business but also data, then you're ready to go or take a step to the next step, which is data preparation. Data preparation sometimes eats up a significant portion of your project, your analytics project. The reason being is that the raw data, typically they are unstructured, they are not cleansed, there are many mistakes, there are many noises. So it is necessary for you to pre-process, sort of convert unstructured data into structured form. That's what you do in the data preparation step. Once the data is ready to be analyzed, then at the next step, which is modeling, you try different modeling frameworks. You may build or train a classification tree, logistic regression, a neural net. So you apply the entire army of available modeling frameworks. And next step, then, after you try multiple models, you probably wonder which model works the best in your problem, or in your context, or in your data. That's what we mean by evaluating or assessing the model performance. And after you figure out or find out the winning model among many modeling framework candidates, you choose the one according to a well-established or defined metrics. It can be accuracy rates, error rates, and many other metrics. And you finally sort of deploy the winning model to reality. So that's sort of this is how in a typical the data mining process sort of proceeds. And one thing I sort of didn't explain here is there's a one way sort of taking you back all the way to the initial steps. So after you conduct evaluation, the model performances, if it is sort of less than what you expected, then you may need to go back all the way back to the first steps. Then you have to sort of update or refine your business understanding, as well as you may also need to collect new data if the earlier data were insufficient. So this is, iterative process. So this is sort of recap what I just explained, the 6 steps of data mining process. So step 1, you understand or create the business problem or opportunity. Step 2, you understand the strength and limitation of data. Step 3, convert the data into the right form. Step 4, apply multiple data mining techniques to the data. Step 5, you assess, evaluate the performance of the data mining results and find the winning model. And the last step, step 6, you put into real use of your winning model to realize return on investment. All right, so before I conclude, I'm going to give you like a short example which illustrates what we mean by what we do, we as data analysts do at the business understanding step, the very first stage. So I'm showing you a plot. Well, actually there are two plots. So on the y-axis we plot customer churn rates, and over the course of almost 3 years of time. So we look at two big telcos, one AT&T, the other Verizon. And there's an interesting shock or event which took place sometime between second and third quarter of 2008, which was the introduction or the launch of iPhone 3G. And we're comparing what happened to customer churn rates or monthly churn rates in these two companies. So what does this chart sort of mean? I mean, what sort of messages can you draw from this chart in terms of business understanding? So what is going on? Is there a business opportunity or is there a business risk? By the way, the iPhone 3G was launched exclusively by AT&T. So as a result, the customers in Verizon, some of the Verizon customers, they switched to AT&T because they really wanted to use iPhone 3G. So from Verizon's perspective, AT&T's launch of the iPhone 3G posed a risk, a threat. So if I were customer retention or customer relationship management manager at Verizon, I probably need to or really want to build a customer churn prediction model, right? In order to predict who is going to switch to AT&T, if we can do it, if we can do that, then we can prevent them from switching to the competitor. So this chart sort of speaks by itself. So this clearly paints a already prepackaged or clear business problem, which is customer churn. So by looking at this, we can certainly think of business problem is kind of well defined already. All you need to do is collect the data, understand the data, and build customer churn prediction model. So this case illustrates a clear prepackaged business project. So it's relatively easy to identify the business problem in an analytical manner. And in terms of what sort of modeling framework one can use in the context, in the customer churn prediction context, well, here I'm showing you one classification tree. So they run a tree model, and this is the result. So at the root of the tree, the way they sort of identify potential churners from non-churners was by their phone's age, whether a customer has a new phone as opposed to old phone. If a customer has an old phone, like the phone has been like 6 years, then let's say within this box you can read out of 20 such users, all 20, all of them, they left. they switch to the competitor, suggesting that the phone age is very important and informative indicator of the customer churn event. I mean, that's how we interpret it. And I'm gonna give you more detailed explanation how we build a classification tree and how that operates and so on in the subsequent modules. But I just wanted to give you the idea, one particular case where the business problem is well defined, and one can certainly use the modeling frameworks such as classification tree. Thank you.